Hi, Gary Galka from DAS. I'm holding our new dual suite spirit box device. I've got the names and some of the part numbers blocked out because I'm not ready to actually release what the part numbers are. But I wanted to go over the fundamental operating characteristics of the device so that the viewers, the people who are going to be using the device, can get a better feel for what the device is. Okay, basically if we look at the front here, we have two channels, channel 1 and channel 2. We also have a main power and a function button. Down below we have the sweep rates, which are indicated using LEDs instead of numerical numbers. You'll notice right away there's no LCD display on this, which is really not necessary for what it does. Over here we have hot cold spot detection. It's indicated using a red array of LEDs for temperature increase and a blue array of LEDs for temperature decrease. There are also ascending and descending tones that correlate to the increase and decrease of temperature. On the side we have a temperature reset button. On the side of the device we have a mute button and two audio outputs. The mute button allows you to momentarily drop out the audio so that you can ask questions, and then you would release the button in order to continue sweeping and hearing the audible sounds coming from the sweep. On this side we have our selection for a flashlight, which is up here. It's a high intensity red flashlight. It's good for about 40 feet, maybe 50 feet. And we have temperature selection, center being off. Up near the top we have something a little more interesting. We have the ability of engaging and disengaging the antennas, both the coils for the AM and also this telescopic antenna for the FM. They can actually be taken out of the circuit. Now, while this is interesting and there's a lot of features built into this, I'm going to give you just a general overview. There's also a tripod, by the way, and a tilt stand, which is kind of nice because then you can put the device like that on a tabletop. Now, a lot of you are probably saying, well, why did you include the antennas? Because in my opinion, it hasn't really been determined that the antenna is detrimental to the success of the responses. So I wanted to give the user the ability to not only select whether the antenna is connected for AM and FM or both connected. I also wanted people to understand that they can also slide this into a Faraday pouch, and that too can act as a block for the radio frequencies. And that would smooth things out a little bit, giving you more white noise and basically blocking out a lot of the radio bits that happen. Okay, so this is the device. If I turn it on using the main power button, it immediately defaults with both stations on. At this point in time, you can choose to select AM. The red light indicates FM. You can select whether you want both on, or through the function select one sweeping, channel 2 sweeping, or both sweeping. You can increase and decrease the volume accordingly. You're going to notice right away that the volume from this is very, very clear, very loud. You can also select whether or not I'm going to reduce the volume just so I don't have to talk over the noise. Let's bring the volume down to below. I just don't want to listen to that while I'm talking. Alright, you can select forward and reverse. The reverse, if I hit the reverse button, you hold it for 3 seconds. And right now I'm sweeping in reverse. You'll see an LED that denotes that. I can pause it, hold the forward, and now I'm sweeping in forward. Down below here you see an LED that tells you the speed. I'm sweeping at 100 milliseconds. There's actual numbers below each LED. If I want to change that, I simply go like that, and it changes. Now you see 2 LEDs there. That's because channel 1 is the first one in sequence. Channel 2 is currently sweeping at 100 milliseconds. Channel 1 is now at 300 milliseconds. If I wanted to change the speed of channel, the other one, I can simply go over here and adjust it accordingly. So what I'm doing is, if you have both of them in the FM as denoted by the red LEDs, you can actually see where you are here. If I wanted to sweep this one over to AM, say I'm doing an AM sweep and an FM sweep simultaneously, you can then see the bank of LEDs over here light up, and I can then adjust that accordingly. Similarly, I can change this to anywhere I want. Alright, so that's that. Now, hopefully you understand that you can now sweep 2 FM simultaneously, an AM and an FM simultaneously, 2 AM simultaneously. My goal is to be able to bring forth as much information as possible out of one box. So some people prefer AM, some people prefer FM. Why not blend them together, and let's see where we're getting the most responses from. Okay, so that's my thought process on that. So let's just keep this on for now, and let's reduce the volume. How are we doing for time?
6 minutes.
Okay. I'm going to just take this and I'm going to reduce the volume down. Let's get on to the temperature circuit really quick and some of the other things. By the way, this is what the flashlight looks like. Okay, coming out of the top. I actually used a reflector cone to give us more light and more of a collimated beam. Alright, so let's turn this off. I'm going to get into the antenna a little bit later, or maybe on another video, because that's a whole separate animal, but let's get into the temperature. I'm going to slip this over to the temperature circuit. It beeps twice, and it zeros to baselines. Right there. I don't have my little pointer here, but right here is the temperature sensor, that little black dot. It's a thermistor temperature sensor. First thing I'm going to do is show you that you have flexibility. I'm going to decrease the temperature just so you can see what happens. Okay, I'm going to baseline it, and now it should go up. Okay. The only reason it's going up now is because I baselined it down here, so I'm actually doing an artificial correction. I'm going to zero it again. It may toggle a little bit. The other cool thing is, let's say that you don't want to be bothered with any temperature increases in the environment. All you care about is cold spots. Simply hold the temperature reset button until that flashes. Okay, now it'll only detect cold. If I zero it, you see the red lights are coming on now, but there's no sound. That's going to be very beneficial, so you don't get annoyed with any slight gradients of ambient temperature changes in the environment. Okay, you can also turn sound off completely by holding it. Red, blue, now sound is off on both channels. Okay, kind of cool, because now you can select whether or not you have just lights or sound. See that? I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's silent now, which is nice, so you don't have to have that irritating sound. It should go red now silently. Oops, my mistake. Hard doing it upside down. Okay, so now you should have basically nothing coming out of the red. You get the idea. It's all microprocessor controlled. There it goes. Alright, so that's the new device. Again, I don't want to reveal the name right now, but let's just go through a quick sweep. And I'm just going to, for the heck of it, I'm going to just do one channel right now. I'm going to increase the volume. I'm going to do a forward sweep. Alright, that's right now at 200 milliseconds. If I want to increase, I can increase it a little bit. I'm going to go to 100 milliseconds. You can hear that pulsating away. Alright, so that's the device. I can change my speed anytime I want. I can change the volume anytime I want. I can slow it down, 200 milliseconds, 250 milliseconds, 300 milliseconds, 350 milliseconds, or back to 100 milliseconds per step. 100 milliseconds is a tenth of a second, so it's sweeping 10 frequencies per second at 100 milliseconds. Other than that, this is the first peak of the new device. If I want to talk, I press that, or I can turn it back on, the mute button on the side. Right now, some people are putting their hands over it, or going like this. This is just another convenient thing. So really what I've done is I've kind of watched and picked up little cues from people who have been using it and tried to incorporate features that I thought were functional and beneficial for people who are into this type of thing. Hope you enjoy it. It'll be out the first of the year. Gary Galka.